Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Scale Model Jam, and today on the desk you can see that we've got two very special kits. We have the Ecto1 and the Ecto1A from the films Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. As you can see, they're both same scale, they're both 125. The Polar Lights one is, as it says, a snap together kit, there's no glue required. The AMT one I didn't do it justice back then, I will do it this time. I just basically wanted to come and have a look at the differences between the two kits. Although one is snap and one is glue, obviously there's going to be some detail differences, but I wanted to know if they're made from the same moulds, or that sort of stuff. Has it been converted? Anything like that really. Obviously the decals are fairly similar. You've got the yellow lines and that. The difference in more tooling on the top on this one here, the number 2. But yeah, just basically get a detailed up close look at both of them at the same time and do basically like a side-by-side comparison. So yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, so first we're going to open up the Polar Lights version. I'm just going to open this box just here. The kit is still sealed. I've only had a quick look through it, so it's still a bit raggedy in here. We've got the glass parts here, the rear and the front screens and the light bars that go on the top. We have the interior box. We've got a little bit of detailing on there. The detail isn't, it's not great, but it is a snap together kit. I'm not too worried about that. It can be aftermarket detail can be added. Oh, this one's open. So we have the chrome parts, and one of the wheels has fallen off. So these are obviously wheel interior. The inside of the wheels, they connect to a metal rod, I'm guessing. The bottom of the light bar is just there. The tyres are going to go over those bits, which is why they're so wide. The front and the rear and front bumpers, and the lights. The headlights, I'm guessing, are they fog lights? They might be for the light bar as well. So it does look like this has kind of been part started. There are some bits off the sprues, like that. This is obviously the rear wings on the rear fenders. We have the dashboard there. Some pipes, the hosing pipes that come off the side of the car. I've got a ladder rack and stuff like that. Some accessories, steering wheel stalk and steering wheel. Some more chrome parts on there that have all gone. They're going to be in here somewhere, I'm guessing. There we go. So somebody has already tried to start this kit. Luckily it's snapped together, so I'm going to just pull it apart and paint it. I'm guessing those are the chrome parts off the tree there. Obviously that would sit on top. We have the 4 tyres. They're quite solid, to be fair. The rear open radius is bigger than the fronts, because obviously you've got to get those over those massive wheels that we've got to get around, and of course with the white walls on as well, so they would simply go on like that, I'm guessing, on the inside like that. And we have stickers. These are not decals, these are actual stickers. Peel off and put on. I'm going to be doing the painting of that bit. Obviously I will need to put those on because I'm not going to even try and attempt to paint that. Let's open these ones up. These might be the decal versions of the same thing. Let's just open this up quickly. Ah, there we go, perfect. So we have the decals and we have the stickers. You can see the difference in the surfaces of those. You can see the cutouts, and now I'm glad we've got the decals of those. Very happy with that, because that's what I'll be using. We've got some other bits in here. Not entirely sure what's going on with these until I read the instructions. Some hairs and stuff on them. Aerial antenna array, and part of a light, it's a radar sort of dish there, I think. So the chassis, obviously quite a long one. It's basically a Cadillac ambulance. Chassis looks fairly detailed, and there's nothing wrong with that absolutely whatsoever. There was obviously just 2 metal bars that are meant to be in there. They're not in the box, so I'm going to have to find my own. Again, it's all snapped together, but yeah, that's fairly decent. And the piece de la resistance, that beautiful body. These are stunning looking cars, these Cadillacs. They've done a really good job on the detail tooling of this, so you can see some mould lines there will need to be gone. Bit of flash there. Other than that, yeah, it's not too bad, to be fair. It's really not too bad at all. We're going to compare this with the other kit in a minute, once we've had a look at that kit, so bear with me please. I shall pack this one away. Before we go any further, I forgot to do the instructions. Bend that into shape, it's a little bit easier to read. Okay, and there we go. That's how everything gets built. Yeah, so I'm missing the metal axles from there, as we can see. But it is a very fairly simple kit. But with these sort of snap together kits, they're easy to make. But if you really want to get into some detail with your painting, you can. They, you know, they will come alive if you obviously detailing on the grills, the bumpers, the wheels, everything. You can make them look really, really nice, even for such a simple build kit. And whilst putting it all back into the box, I do actually have the axles and some screws, so that's good news. I know how to find my own. I'm not sure what the screws are for. They're more than likely to attach the chassis to the body, something coming apart. But yeah, that's good news. I should have checked that out earlier, really, shouldn't I? And there we have it, the Polar Lights Ecto1, the original Ghostbusters. Yeah, it looks like a great kit. So let's move this one on and bring in that one. Okay, time for number 2, the Ecto1A. Let's open this kit up, see what we've got. And so we've got the glass, which is a one-piece glass compared to the other one, which was a two-piece. And all the lights, the light bars, and the radar antenna arrays. Okay, on to the next bit. As you can see, the wheels on this are different, so these do not share the same tooling. Absolutely not. They just look the same. Also the frame bumpers are very similar. You've got 3 light bars here, and another one just there. Obviously the internal lights and all the gubbins that goes on top, which will need painting. It's not all going to be chrome, of course. I think in the film these are white with chrome centre caps, so they're going to need painting as well. When I built this when I was a kid, I'd left them silver. It didn't look right. I could never figure out why. You have the tyres. They're nice rubber tyres. 2 axles again, which is good. No idea what this is for. I'm guessing this is going to be the build of the tray that goes on top, the roof rack. So I'm guessing those are going to be separate components for that. So you've got the dashboard, which is going to be the same. We're going to compare this with the other kit in a minute. Also got the fender flares at the back, and the rear of the wheels, and the steering wheel. Okay, the rest of the tooling. So we've got the steering wheel stalks, the side of the equipment trays, all the newfangled gear that they put on top of the next one, including the antennas and everything, pipes, tubing, compressor tanks. I think we've got a telephone there, CB radio as well. As you can see, the detail on this one is obviously a lot better. But I think the tooling is newer as well. Okay, so immediately can see the difference in the quality of the detail here. So we've got a little typewriter thing, the screen's going to go there. There was detail, I'm sure of it, on that side there, on the other version as well, but you've got a little bit more. You've got some texture on the seats there, and there is some carpet detail. So yeah, that's so obviously the mould is a little bit more detailed, which is fine. The chassis again looks virtually identical to the other one because they all look the same underneath. I noticed that the suspension rails here, the leaf springs, are thinner, and also the lower subframe. The other one had a couple of notches sticking out of these 2 bits here. We'll go back and have a look at those in a bit. Not that it makes a difference to how the kit sits or anything like that. That's fine. And the body. Let's pull this out. Okay, there she is. Really nicely moulded, very smooth. That's going to need some sanding. The details on it are really nice. These holes here, I'm sure, were actual holes on the Polar Lights kit, whereas they're not here. So, yeah, I wonder how these bodies scale against each other, because they're both 1/25 scale. Yeah, no, it looks great. It looks really good. Nice and straight. A lot of painting, of course. It's a big old kit. And we have the decal sheet. So this is going to be quite interesting to see what's on here. Okay, so according to this, you should be able to build this as the original one. You can actually build this as an Ecto1 as well. I did not know that, because you've got the Ecto1 plates there and the original red stripe, because the red stripe on the Ecto2 is thicker. So it is actually, if I show you the picture on here, you can see it's actually a lot thicker there in comparison to the one below it. Now that could be just a model kit thing. I haven't checked the actual cars in the films. Yeah, you could build both actually. Yeah, that's actually really great. Got all the great stickers, cordless. So you could just buy 2 of these versions, glue kits, and build one of each. I didn't realise that. Yeah, the decals are in good condition. Absolutely no issues with them, no cracks, nothing like that. It's a nice sheet actually. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so instruction time. So these should be a little bit more involved than the Polar Lights version. So we've got to see the interior stuff, and you've got the body, the air, the light bars, everything, and then obviously the equipment tray, which is obviously very, very important. I noticed that none of them actually made any proton packs to go inside. It's a bit of a shame, but I'm pretty sure they can be 3D printed. It does note, if you're planning on building your kit as the Ecto1, the original, do not use these parts. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, very simple kit to put together. That's on the other side. And then decal placement. And also the different decals depending on what you want to build it as. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, nice and crisp. Okay, and there you have it, both kits. You've seen inside them, so now let's do a little comparison between the two. I'm only going to compare the chassis and the body, really. So, first things first, let's get the bodies out. We've got the chassis, and I don't want to mix these two up, obviously that could be confusing, so I'll put those both there for the moment. I'm going to get the grills out first, so I just want to compare the detail on them both. Yeah, so the Polar Lights kit seems a lot more detailed. Obviously you've got the headlight liners and everything like that, even on the fog lights or the indicators, or I guess the emergency lights on the bottom of the bumper there. And also I'm guessing those two would be emergency lights. Interestingly enough, they are missing from this one, although there are a couple of cutouts. I don't know if you can see them on the camera. There's two on each side. So there might be some bits on the kit that you paint up and put in place instead. Okay, so funnily enough, on the Polar Lights kit there is less detail. I'm guessing because of the way the kits are moulded for the rear bumper, because you can see there just like that. So on the Polar Lights kit, all this is one piece. I guess you can cut out those bits there or paint them red with the chrome behind, which would be better, I guess, because it would glow better. So you can see the side, you can see the bullet rear lights there. This is going to be, I'm guessing they're going to be on the glass tree. Whereas this one is, you can see, I don't know if you can see through it, through those rear lights, they are completely cut out. Nice bit of moulding there. So yeah, interestingly enough, this is a rear step, and the Polar Lights kit doesn't have the rear step. That's interesting. I wonder how that will look. I'm going to have to look at reference pictures on both the Ecto1s to see if that's there or gone. The newer version, I'm guessing, would have it, but if you're building this as the Ecto1 that didn't have it, that would be a problem. Next up we have the interiors. Okay, so side by side, look at the interiors. They're pretty much spot on with each other. They're almost virtually identical. They're definitely not the same molds though. You can see that although obviously the things are in the right place, the details are in the same places. They were a little bit more pronounced on the Polar Lights kit, and a little bit more subtle on the AMT kit. There is a slight texture on the carpet for the Polar Lights version, and there is texture on the seats, which I didn't catch the first time around. But yeah, both are good moulds, and they are very, very close in detail to each other. So obviously the designers did a very good job. Right, chassis time. Right, virtually spot on for size. The chassis on the Polar Lights is ever so slightly longer, front and back. The detailing is pretty much the same. It's a bit better on the AMT version, being a newer mould. I would expect that. And this is what I meant by the subframe. It's a little bit wider on the Polar Lights one, and the rear suspension leaf springs are also a bit wider. It's a shame you didn't have separate exhaust and things like that, and separate suspension on these, but you can paint those things in. You could even cut round them if you want to go into the detail of making them a little separate. Get a Dremel, make some holes in there and there. There are things you can do and ways around it. And now for the bit everybody wants, which is the bodies. So there we go. Side by side. Polar Lights on the top and AMTs at the bottom. They are not the same mould. I know I keep saying this, but they are definitely 100% not the same mould. The details, the lines, just slightly crisper on the AMT version. They are virtually identical. Both design teams have done a really, really good job. The only difference I can see is the roofline at the back there. I'll just do that. The roofline there, I don't know if you can see it. It seems a bit curved, whereas on the bottom one, it's perfectly straight. I don't know if that's a normal thing or not, if that was just a design thing. I'm 100% not sure on that at all. Because this on the Polar Lights one, it does follow the bottom the actual bottom line. It goes up the same, whereas on the AMT you've got the curve that goes up, and then it's just a straight line across the back. Pretty much the same on all accounts there. Both got good detail. And the backs, this is where they start to differ. Yeah, I'd just be interested to see how they both build up in that case. Okay, and there we have it. We have the comparison side by side and the review of both the kits. What did we learn today? We learned that the Ecto1A kit from AMT can be built as the Ecto1 or the Ecto1A, which is pretty nice and very forward thinking by AMT. The Polar Light kit is a snap-on, a little bit less detailed, but nonetheless still a great looking kit to build, especially if you're into painting details and things like that, then that would be a great kit. I recommend if you get either one, definitely enjoy it. These are classic kits. The Ghostbusters films are excellent. Right, that's it for me today, guys. Have a fantastic weekend or week, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.